آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. Praise be to Allah, the Lord of the universe, the provider, the sustainer, the protector. I bear witness there is no deity of worthy to be worshipped except Allah. He is the one who has no son. He has no wife. He created you, created me. He created us, created everybody and everything. He is Allah, As-Samad, the dependable God. And again, I bear witness that Prophet Muhammad, may the blessings and peace of Allah be upon him, is Allah's messenger. Allah has sent him with the message. Indeed, he has delivered the message. May Allah grant us understanding of the message Prophet brought to us. May Allah make it easy for us to practice the message and bring it into our lives. Now.
Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Etule kewemo kewitumo papa ni ankwale ikaba hawo ni usanu wo mo ni wo ke tuma do bile ntumo de kan bile wo bi osumo jomo ye ni bo ha ko ife.
My dear respected elders, brothers and sisters in Islam, I admonish myself together with you, let us fear Allah, the Almighty. Anytime our ulama, our scholars, our teachers, our imams, anytime they get chance to stand before us, they admonish us to fear Allah. And in simple terms, the meaning of what they tell us is to try to do what Allah has incumbent upon us and try to refrain what Allah has what? Cautioned us on it. Whatever Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us to do, let us try to put it into practice at the best of our ability. Whatever Prophet say is not good, let us try and what? Refrain from it. That is the highest fear of Allah. Do that publicly and do that privately. Then you will be among the pious of Allah. May Allah count us among them. Today, our reminder, our teachings is in Quran chapter 2, verse 282, the longest verse in the Quran. This verse, it is the longest verse in the Quran, and it talks about the most important thing about deen, like loan, credits, debts, like to go and borrow and stuff. In all, it talks about what? Business and agreements and how things should be what? Done. No.
Bodies are not obe itumo body standing only according to my man to feel it for because in them the feel it who can have
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to the Sahaba, said the reason for revelation of this verse is Allah who created us, created what? Adam. Allah knew, or he knew Adam very well. When Adam was created, the hadith of Ibn Abbas, he said, لما نزلت الآية الدين, when this verse of transaction was revealed, the reason is that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Inna awwala man jahada Adam. Adam make an argument with Allah. That's why Allah said what? The servants of his, when they are doing transaction, they should be what? Written. When Allah created Adam, he gave him 1,000 years. And Allah told him, Adam, I have created you, and you are going to live for 1,000 years. And in you, I will create a lot of what? Your grandchildren. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just smashed his back, applied something at the back of Adam, and showed to Adam like a video, and he's watching, and he said, these are the creations that will come out of you. So Adam was watching. Everybody, his name and the number of years that he or she is coming to do on earth, Allah is showing to Adam, and he was there watching. When he get to Dawood, Nabiullah Dawood and Nabi Dawood, Adam asked Allah, oh Allah, pause this one. Then Allah has paused it. Then Adam asked, oh Allah, who is this one? He said, that is what? One of your grandchildren. The name is Dawood. He's also coming to be a prophet, a messenger. Then Adam asked Allah, and how many years did you give it to him? And Allah said, you can see, I'm giving him only 60 years. Then Adam said, 60 years? Somebody you will be choosing as a prophet and a messenger, you give him 60 years. 60 years will just come soon. Allah add some years to. Then Allah said, no, that's what I have what? Choose to give it to him. Then Nabi Adam, he said, no, Allah add. Then Allah said, okay, fine, on condition, I'm giving you, or I have given you 1,000 years. If you want me to take some of your years and give it to your grandchild, then Nabi Adam, he said, no problem. So Allah took what? 40 years to Nabi Dawood. So now Nabi Dawood will live for how many years? 100 years. Now.
What Adam Biamini Mancho Ele if you can you to what Adam Eyana Emi Sheton a one Mancho Fele Kele Ake Adam Yanakan Bene Mi Fe Nakayu to Ne Ohio Kajamana Sekaya no fan on the Sabaya Minidi Yomo Chicago Janu to here. Abomode ama Amish. Gomi odomosine mifa akashi osidile walade ne ibafe abi agbe ni adebo ife obidi eni amebaje keba. Ewo mancho fele keni le pa wata Adam said ni ekede tonle akashi Adam kwamo mini tinonu ona ewo be Goni adesabayi si bona abaho abaya ababa awuwe Adam kwe sinu wabashe wacha Daud no ni wacha Adam kema tofile ake wa ni namoji mene ni mantofile ake shi oni ne ona na kansua ekone ni jamane bi mantofile ake shi lewbi ni kemene ba ba fe nya lo ke ba ni inhale afi nyumai ekwa nojinoni ibaye ile ni wacha Adam bi mantofile nyumai ekwa no ke ha le da de kuku ibahu ni mantofile ke na kajiba nu mi bole sikaji onta wonu maji ego kaje bo no mi mafatale no hiye mafile na kan mahabu wo wacha Adam kanano na je afi nyumai eje afata wo cheniji Daud no nyumai ekwa de afi uha wo wache Daud mantofile hale afi uha.
So when Allah told Adam, I'm taking 40 years from your age and add it to him, he agreed. So Allah wrote it down. And he said the angels to be witness. So they were witness. Now, فَلَمَّا أَحْضَرَ آدَمْ وَأَحْتَتُهُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ. When it is time, now Adam's age will be what? 960 years. Am I right?
No.
He lived for 960 years, and the angel came to him to tell him that the time Allah has given it to you is due. So maybe we'll be taking your life. He said, no, Allah has given me 1,000. He said, but Allah gave you 1,000 and you gave one of your offspring 40 years. He said, no, he didn't give anybody anything. He said, no. So the angel went to Allah. He said, Ya Allah, your servant doesn't want to die. And he denied him giving anybody any 40 years. Then Allah asked Adam. He said, Adam, we have made an agreement with you. He said, no. He said Allah should give him 40 years from his own heart, not like Allah should reduce his own. Then Allah said, we ask you. You asked me to give him 40 years, and I say no. But if you give out of your own, then I can take it. And he said yes, and I have written it. This is a paper. And I have made what? The angels to be witness. Then Adam, he pleaded. He said, oh Allah, then this one there, maybe it's out of forgetfulness. So, Allah, you are the Rahman. So you give him out of your own 40 years, not from me. So Allah said, okay, no problem. I have changed it. Now I have given Dawood the 100 years. He has gone. You, I will give the 40 years for you to live again. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completed the what? The 40 years to Adam, and his years become what? 1,000 as it was. Based on that, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Prophet Muhammad, you and your people and the believers, anytime they are into business, there should be a document. If their grandfather argue with Allah, for them to argue among themselves financially, it will be very simple. So let them be what? Documentation. Any transaction, you come to borrow money, the one giving and the one receiving, they should be written among what? Themselves and a witness. Then they all sign. If it is business, you are going to buy something on credit, there should be what? Written document, and there should be what? Witness for everybody to sign. Now.
Bianini wache Adam agbene bahishi be ina afi nyumai nehu ke pawu alumi mali nakaini ewo be afi ohai nehu ke nyumai ekwa nakanji bonu mantofele ili ake ite wache Adam ye be bashe boku elili owala amede emo ni ameyakele ake wache Adam be ni mantofele ke habuwe Beer Eche, you were there, Eche Bobahi, Owala, Kaya. Ni Ega, Manchopele, and Yafia Quay. After Quay and Diana Noise, oh, David, oh, Walabena can have way. Afi Ohai Nehu, Kayuma Iba, the Kao David, there. Jebo ke akashi nebi dawu aje ruma ede ye onono ahale ifeda bi inkema chofela ke eke afi nyuma ede apate no ika ya ta aje ye bi no daga o na ka ji kwani ma cho ka wo enye kwanse na mete na me aka ma chofele aje woche ada abile wane je ye no na kan no ni ka wo fi ebe gboji mo no ha wala e won ke bua ke numa eju ebu e kan le ti de mi no mi yo ni ma to fele ba pe na no kana kan ni mu eju e nka ha wo nebi dawu bo mu ono na kan ni mu eju e ka fata yi ma bo wo ba na afi akpe ti mo ke je mena ke ya ne ke je be obe amia hu ke pote ahu ke ashi wace ni ne wanye ni alo balo Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam shesi ni ka ya fe de fe be ni nutumo e gbajia to we dala gbajia to no ni ba ka ko nye bite ni nya bo amode ni nyama si bona pe ni luse wanije akaba.
Allah the Almighty said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, إِذَا تَدَايَنْتُمْ بِدَيْنٍ, if you enter into any transaction, إِلَى أَجَلٍ مُسَمَّى, which will have a specific what? Period of time, فَاكْتُبُوهُ, then write it. Write it. Our mothers should listen very carefully, because we know women sometimes they do sell items, maybe they will come and be collecting the money small. All these things, Allah said what? You should write it down. Whatever you sell to somebody that the person, he or she is going to pay some time to come, write it down. It shouldn't be, oh, nadi, mati, debi. Allah said, this is the commandment of Allah. Allah said, do it. Qatada told us that when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam narrates this after the revelation of this verse, there was a Sahabi who did not take this verse serious. And one time he sold something on credit to somebody. And later he knew, for example, 10 oloka that he sold the what? Wheat to somebody. Later the person come back and bring the money of 6. He said, no, you bring 6, remaining 4. He said, no, me I bought only 6. The man said, no, I sold 10. He said, no. And the man asked him, what shows that it's 10 oloka that you sell it to? They didn't write anything. So for the seller, he was very sure that it was 10. And the one who bought it, he said 6. So he started cursing the man, that if I sold 10 oloka to you and you are denying saying 6, may Allah should curse you. He cursed him and he prayed, nothing has happened to the person. So some time to come, and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he saw him. He said, Ara'aytum sahibukum, have you seen this your friend? That he was cursing somebody in the market. Allah refused to what? Accept his prayer, even though the person had cheated on him. Allah refused to accept for him to, because when Allah said transactions like this, they should write it, he refused to write it. So when he was also praying, then Allah was neglecting him. Allah ignored him. Because if Allah said do, you didn't do it. What shows that when you come to ask Allah to do it for you, he will do. So that's what the consequences. If he had what written, like you get somebody to witness, and that day they will not even argue, let alone to curse him or have any argument. So Allah said, any transaction, we should write it. Now.
Ètò ọmọdé sanoni sanefe ya jalaye ni mi dani jalaye ni ba. Ele noni ba ya no ya jalaye ni mi dani jalaye ni ba. Ewo ma so pele gbe. O nyame ni nya ye ni yi. Kaji ye bala ka si sika ye gbadin ano to ba ba no ye o ke onyami te ye le. ni eba ko be ne bo amode ni yama ko ni bo ko ni nyawo sisi mo ni hu hi o ke ni awosi bia mi ni man so fele ye le kan ye mo na se balo se bi ye ko eye jala ni mo ko ba eba he akoko ye ede olóòtá nyuma ní ẹ̀bẹ̀bà hẹ́ẹ̀ ní gẹ̀dẹ̀ ètè àwọn bí a mi ní ẹgbẹ̀nà ní ẹ̀bà ápẹ́ ilẹ̀ ní ẹ̀bà hálẹ̀ ẹ̀pà àṣìká ní ìfẹ́ ẹgbẹ̀ ní mọ́ọ̀kẹ́ ẹ̀rà kẹsì dàbí nílẹ̀ ní ọba ní ọba hẹ́ ní ẹ̀ òhẹ́ nyuma ìwọ kẹjọ hàn ní ẹ̀pà bẹ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ẹgbẹ̀ ní fẹ́ ò dàbí ẹ̀pà jìnnà ní ìwo ní kẹjọ òkè nyuma mí ní tọ́n akẹ́sì nyuma àwọn aka ne ebe noko ne ka ba domo no iwo be no ni pe ne ba ne fe yi be san ni elomo gomo eyan le lomo noko ba mi ni ewo be ko gomo na yin ni balo Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam de ke ona go ne kan osima sine ni ya ne eji ko ni man to fele wi mo ke tu ni ewo ne ka mo ko yi jala no ni sane enwa bia mi ni wa neje ya ba mi ye ni ko mo lo mo eya mi aka si mo re si ule si aka si na ka man to fele bi mo tu ni iwo elo mo na elo mo fe man to fele ni e ko mi bu ewo ye bia ne ni gba lo ha ana ali aka si keji wo ba yi jala wo bo mo de ni wo ma bia mi ni wo ni e fa wo na wo ma mi ne ke me ni wo ni e ma me ta ba na ba he ni aka na nya mo ewo ke aka ngai alo loko ni nya tumo kaka maki gbogbo yi ekumi na ko ba fi ekumi adomo nunu anya akabu agunta na no ni akan habu ke no ni gbogbo yi.
Allah said, وَلْيَكْتُبْ بَيْنَكُمْ كَاتِبٌ بِالْعَدْلِ. If the two of you, none of you can write it, call the third person to write it for you. You that you are selling, you can write it. The buyer too cannot write it. Call somebody to write it for you. That's what Allah said. Now.
Ewa man so pele bi mi le ni ma owo le ni ma be wa che mo ko ni le ni ma ni na kan gomo amma na kan yi awo tia.
And Allah said bil adl, the writers will write it with what? Justice. If it is 5, write 5. If it is less than that, whatever they ask you to write, write it. Don't add and don't what? Decrease.
Bi ko mo na ba che aka o ba na ya bete ha Kiako akapata hiye, kiako akati ewu miye, wana akebuwe, bimwele na kanyo.
And Allah said, وَلَا يَأْبَ كَاتِبٌ أَنْ يَكْتُبَ كَمَا عَلَّمَهُ اللَّهُ. When you are called to come and write, don't refuse. Allah said, He gave you the knowledge. وَلَا يَأْبَ كَاتِبٌ. Any person should what? Deny or refuse to come and write it. كَمَا عَلَّمَهُ اللَّهُ. The knowledge Allah has given it to you. Don't deny the people. Maybe they can write and they ask you, oh brother, sister, please come and write it for us. They said, why is it that you people you don't go to school? Me, if like me too, I didn't go to school. Like today, can I write? No, don't tell them like that. Allah said the knowledge He gave it to you. Go and write it for them.
Ena chabu bano ba ngani ne o ha won be obi ya fa ya tala shi jamini akaya na akazi ni aya tu be nya ya mena be na school yi se na mo nya ma ya ni mo akaka wo ni kaka wo le wo ko ni ano fi mo no ni amede o fi mo o ha
فليكتب وليملل الذي عليه الحق وليتق الله. The one who is buying, he or she is going to dictate. I, Adia, so and so. I, brother, so and so. I, Mr. So and so. I bought this, an amount of that from Hadia. And the agreement date is what? 1 month time, 1 year time, or next week, or like that. You have to what? Dictate to the writer, for the writer also what? To write. And Allah said, فَلِيَتَّقِ اللَّهِ. The one dictating should fear Allah. Don't buy 5 and say they should write 4. Exact amount, dictate the same, and the writer should also what? Fear Allah and write exactly what you dictate to him or her.
Money here, letting money na yuemo abanga. Ewole ba ke mi osimashi imbahe ene ya osimashi na bi inyomo fe na yakwa neke ni beni sani nke wonyomo ekwa nyoji kumbe nyoji enyo ke inome ke o ma fe aken kwani oba yele nani anukwale ahimi noni ohiyo ka aji ekuyemi hani no fe no afi bebe
wala yabkhas minhu shay'a. And the writer should not say that, hey, me, I've gone to school, you have to pay me, if not I will not write. Allah said, don't charge them for anything, just go and write for the sake of Allah. Now,
ni momone ase bonyo batasi ni boji krachi ni o mani akakashi kaka wojala ni ekaji ni igbe na ni epe ni ima do agada bi kaka wojala emo o ha me sabe boni man jo bile egibo ni
but here ulama have made what? A comment here. If it is only once you are called to come and write, you don't need to charge them. But if it's going to be continuous, every day, every time they need your service, it means they are going to employ you. So then it's going to be a business. Then for that one, they have to pay you for the time that what you are waiting for them to write for them. So that is what difference. If you are going to write it, people are into their business and they call you to come and write it for them. Yes, you write it for them. You don't need to charge them. But if it's going to be what? Every time they need your service, then they have to employ you. Now.
Pana bote na kai tonami na menake ya hepo jamini manchofela kanile ni kahabu mi habu na kan mi habu na kan wa ka heska ka kita ya ka be na kan o ka to mo yi ni fe to mo yi mo ena ewo amebote mi na menake ka ji shiko mepa na kan na ta o ni o ba je ke bo ame ke hana kan se mo nwele ka heska si be fe be na baba atu abachebu wo go atu abachebu o tan si ma sha mu ko be ba ye ni kedi ni e ba chala no neke nwele be abo ni amehi ba hia ko e alo hi ba hia ame sana ame wugu mo ke no no ba fi
fa in kana alladhi alayhi alhaq safihan aw da'ifan aw la yastati'u an yumilla falyumlil waliyuhu bil 'adl. But if the one selling the products, the seller cannot dictate, maybe the person is not in the healthy state, or the person is too small or something, there is one reason that he or she cannot do, then he need to bring what? A third party to come and stand on his or her own behalf, and such person should also be what? A just person. Now,
kadi e bala kashi na kajala yeli ni na jemo ke ni ma kashi ni le kashi si wo e bala ka moni e ba he ni keje enyami e pe e la mbana alo eye hilami e ku egbe kan ni eyin e sakojo alo e ko le no popote hiwo na kaye ni ke bu amone e ba hia le nwele naka ngomo sanile wesa enamoko bi ba domo ise bi ba yoda se nhale yejala yeli na jole na atawo fe sani enamoko yese
wastashhidu shahidain min rijalikum, but they have to look for what? 2 witnesses from the men. He, the one selling, has to bring 1 witness, and the one also buying, the giver and the receiver, has to bring one witness. But if you are not getting one witness, then you have to bring what? فَلْيَشْهَدُوا شَهِدَيْنِ مِنْ رِجَالِكُمْ, 2 witnesses from each, from both sides, one witness. فَإِنْ لَمْ يَكُونَا رَجُلَيْنِ فَرَجُلٌ وَامْرَأَتَانِ. But maybe one party can have a man and another party cannot have a man. He should bring 2 women. May Allah grant us more understanding. You are to bring a man to witness for you, and this one too has to bring a man to witness for him. So that is 2 men. And this one has brought somebody who is going to witness for him, being a man. But this one didn't get any man. He should go and look for 2 women. That's what Allah is saying. If you are not getting one man, then 2 women should come and witness for you. Even the awri that we are doing in the mosque, you have to bring 2 witnesses for what? For the Amaria and the what? The bride and the groom side. If you don't get maybe you don't feel like sending the men, you can bring 4 women. Yes, it's allowed. Because they are also human beings, but their ability of what? Remembrance is down. That's what Prophet Muhammad said. He said, "Ma ra'aytu naqsan al-aql wa kasratu ad-din adhaba lubbi lisanihim." Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, when he was saying this, it was on the Eid, telling the women. They said, "Yes, you people, your mindset is down and you are lazy." So a woman said, "Why are you insulting us?" He said, "No, I'm not insulting you. That's what Allah said." He said, "Where?" Then Prophet said, "You see that?" He said, when a man is going to witness and they didn't get any man, 2 women should come. If like your memory is correct, Allah will not say 2 women. So 1 man, 2 women. That's how Allah is what? Ordained the law. Now.
Kaji bala agashi na kamone kwani achache ibanya mukomie nuole moni hiyo husani lahu ekenu kome abadomo ese chikeji bala agashi ku eno nisani mofe mo ananu ni badomo ese le yi odase mokome ana kona nu besa no keye enyo aba ni ye bia na en wonye nye lo wi nekafe mu ene ya no ya grashi lamli ni ya pia nekaje balaga shi ni enyo na ta wa ka udase fuye kaji ayana ni enyo bes ubanyo ke ye eje abadomo shi ye nuwe alo yo ese ake udase fuye ike ene manto felemi ni pia mi ni neka fe mo bie mo na ya no ake ni mi idi ewo gbalo ba gbala mi ake nye fle ni na ewo ebala aka pitio yenye kwa nye ino ena ewo manjo fele na kanyi hani ewo moko teshire bi aka balo owie monele eminchi onjewo ne kadabi na kanyi wanu manjo fele bonyi ewo noko ni ya bala aka shi yajomo mi ke noko fi no bula o ya ga ni ne kaja me yenyo bofin boni je mokume kenna je moni sa noni sana keha ikebaba.
Allah said, "Mimman tardawna min ash-shuhada." When you are calling a witness, call somebody you trust. Now.
Ena yo kajika o tiamoku ni eba yo lase enhabu bo omode no ota omboku ni na kan bomo eji anukwafu.
Wala ya'ba ash-shuhada idha du'u. And anytime they call you to come and witness for somebody, don't refuse. Allah said, you don't need to refuse. You have to go and do what? And witness for them.
Ewo man chofele wie, ikabe febe na ba chebu akoba yuda so ha mugwe. Ta ke mo, yensmo esane, yusmo wase bia mi na ba bis nyomo, be mi wa ba jemi, iye ma fe do kuna kai. Man chofele ke ka fe na kai. Ya no ya yuda se ye o ha ko yemi ko jo ye yi ye o yemi e ba ka mi. Ni anu ba sumo, ni bia mi ne e ka mi ye. O do mo shinu ga ke le ko dabi ya no ya fi o ha mi.
وَلَا تَسْأَمُوا أَن تَكْتُبُوا صَغِيرًا أَوْ كَبِيرًا إِلَى أَجَلِهِ. Allah said, do not underrate any transaction, whether it is small or big. Allah said, write it. And don't be tired of. He said, oh, me, I'm tired. Every day, writing. Okay. No. Allah said, write it. Whether it is what? Small business or huge business, just write it. Don't get tired of what? Writing it. No.
Agbobo ni eji alo bibi obo ni eji bofa bo ni eji e agboju obibi oji o ya no ya tu man to fele ni tumo agbena obia mi ni o fe mu e ka kondo ke wie mo ibabawo akato e mi mi ele mi ni sane po na mi man babawo dabi ka wie bi fe mo ya man to fele
ذلكم أقسط عند الله. And that is what? Justice in the sight of Allah. وَأَقْوَمْ. And that's what? The strength, that is evidence. A strong evidence against the one who bought it, and for you also, the one you are the seller.
Ni energy se domolo alo vemo ni ja alo vemo ni di anubali ya manjo file.
He said, وَأَدْنَا أَنْ لَا تَرْتَابُوا. And for you to write it and state all the transaction there clearly, that will what go away with doubts. How much is the money? How much? You will not confuse. You will not get doubt and you will not get confused.
Ajake ona kan vemo o jala yeli ya ke vemo na ye. E ba je kwasi fe ni WhatsApp alogbi na ba wo nyomo alogbi ni mena he eni kenje mena die e ba je na kan kwasi e fe ye.
And Allah said, إِلَّا أَن تَكُونَ تِجَارَةً حَاضِرَةً تَدُورُونَهَا بَيْنَكُمْ فَلَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ. But if it is a business that you are executing it now, maybe you are here to buy and just pay, you don't need to write. Maybe you bought the thing, oh, how much is it? 10 cedi. I'm coming to give it to you. I'm just going to bring the money. That one you don't need to write. But any business that you are going into it, that has a time for more than 24 hours, Allah said you should write it. No.
Ni kaju oba ko ekole tomoboni awon ni yetunese ni ombo ba soli o hemo sidi yumane ni yaya soli ke wozuna ma ba ko ni e ikene ama ti ekofe ekoni je ba chale no ni be ba ba mi dani obo ba wonu mo nwele sani ama ameshi.
But for something that you buy right now and go and bring the money, Allah said, وَأَشْهِدُوا إِذَا تَبَايَعْتُمْ. Just call a witness. Oh, please, I bought something from him. I'm going to bring him the money. Somebody should witness for that.
Si no kono ba he no ni oya no ba no keshika ba no kabangale. Bo mode no anu odase fu adomosi. Oh, anemi nko osi machine ni ne yemi odase mi ya ni maba kemba keshika baba ni kabangale. Be odase fu iba.
وَلَا يُضَارُ كَاتِبٌ وَلَا شَهِيدٌ. But as for the one that you are writing, the writer should not cheat, and the witness should not also what? Harm anybody. They should all do for the sake of Allah.
The moniji ni malo yeneke yanne na te eka juwe ma mukube ni agbelewu moni na ahi osani eyewu le mu eka ju keje eyemi e ni ebi oni eye bona fi na ma ni ba fi se na ma la ke wo ka fi na.
وَإِن تَفْعَلُوا فَإِنَّهُ فُسُوقٌ بِكُمْ. But if there is something and later you agree with what the writer and just go and fabricate something, Allah said this one is oppression. And the day of Qiyamah, Allah is going to punish anybody who will do this.
Sikaju ogbamo ya fe kome inta yo fe konu wo pe tun sadi ami ni ama wolo na kan shopu ne makwa kome ni enyo nyanne ni yesiko di anyawunya no ti bia mi na ke wolo e ba mo ni ya na wolo e ya fe la ke si meni asufo ni e ba kwa kome ni le e ba ko enyo e wo be ke di aya na akashi na kan di bo ni ma na asa kete na asa kete ayasa ngun e be ni agbono fan no na keni ni ewo sisi e o na akashi eju le yemi e ni ene ke le e ba ko enyo ni le wi ko ku mi e agbene ke enyo e ba fi le no e ke ku mi e ahan le e wo ye bi ene gba lo ka akashi ke ma so pele ka akashi o mo ni o ba fe ni o ba han chake mo abami e ka jin ku ni ya li akomo ìbàjọ́ ẹ̀ wọ́n sẹ̀ na gbèbílẹ̀ àjọ̀fílẹ̀ kẹ ìbá block gbé yẹn na kanáà ló fi ẹ̀.
وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ اللَّهُ. And fear Allah, Allah will give you knowledge.
Ní iṣẹ́ màjọ̀fílẹ̀ gbé yìí sì nílé ní èfi ọ̀pọ̀ akẹ́ gbogbo kẹjù ọ́ màjọ̀fílẹ̀ kẹ nílé ẹ̀hán bù sí ìkẹ̀ hán bù akẹ́sí òkè fèmí ni òkè ju ìbá bíbò ìsàlẹ̀ wọ́sẹ̀ na fi.
And some of the scholars said, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ اللَّهُ. Fear Allah and Allah will grant you understanding.
Ní nílé lọ́yà àkùnmí àmì yẹn àmẹ́ka akẹ́sí ṣé màjọ̀fílẹ̀ gbé yìí sì kẹ́ òṣèlẹ̀ gbé yìí nílé kẹ́síṣe ni mo níbi kọ́ òfìlẹ̀ kẹ́ bá dùn.
وَاللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. Allah knows everything. So, like we said, this is the longest verse in the Quran and it has a lot of explanation. But for the sake of time, this is the summary of what? The explanation we have presented. Whatever we say and it is correct, may Allah grant us the reward in it. The mistakes that we do, may Allah forgive us.
the Emily Blam or 3D, Sakashi war, a Kuku, watching the Echo One Echo Man. None of you, the Editale, Mantopela Pro, none of you, the Editomo, who feel like Kakimo. Anyone here yellow or Bashane, the non Mantopela Cabahani, what more than me, or one of them here, what more than what ye and what. Only at a point, they said they one in the Awu Bonafe, you catch was a Sani Abawu no more, only Akashi Neke, the body Sani.
May Allah grant us understanding. May Allah grant us the heart that contents. Today, on this verse, a lot of Muslims have left the Quran and they are doing their hadiths. There are so many issues that is about inheritance. People will come, a family, some people will come that my father has said this and that, they have given me this. In Islam, we don't do that. Well, how can your father give you this and that, no witness? It's not done in Islam. Anywhere your father wants to give you something, he should write it and bring witness. Then you call the other children as a witness. Then it becomes what? The legal one. And Allah said, nobody should give your property more than 1/3. So your father cannot even give, because you inherit your father. Your father is supposed not to give you something. If your father is going to give it to somebody, an outsider, Allah said he should not give more than 1/3 of what he owes. But you as a beneficial, your father cannot sign anything for you. Today, we have so many Muslims like that. My father has given me this house, he gave me this thing, and like that, and he bring a lawyer. He and the lawyer only. Who is your witness? He said the lawyer. When? He said some time ago. See, this is what Quran is saying. Let us fear Allah. The one who has the houses and whatever is gone, and none of us will remain forever. One day we shall all go. But let us start to think, when we go there, what will happen to us? May Allah give us that understanding. Now.
Ya bia ni wanye nyelo ena yewo ya Islam yiye papa kana hami ni kana hami ni kana hami ni odasefo be he wonye nyelo ka Islam wo be na kan ito ya ni ena yewo le kaji balata bo oji biye o na kan bile jano ko potan ko yewo ba ha papa le akeboni ni ga ba akeboni nwu esa ni enina mo ne yo fen ka jamiete eni komedi ka ha bo komi pe dabi enye bale na kan si mene mini wona ne nyanu me ni mbana ba jani bo si ni aha me boko me ba do mo si e ba ke ne kan bi ne kan choni ne kan ne inu wele ka ha mi e kono dana gbele no ni nyem ne sanaja aja nu ne he do ni e ka fata ka bi agashi ene minu olukano na moji odasefo ni yo mi e ke o ndasefo di lawyer na mo mu fata e ke dabi nwele be ko ne wo mi nwu ha afi e ke dabi e ko fan e ko e hani nyem ne ni e ka me ba ja ni wose ana menle agashi ene akanhale ke be e she na akanhale nwele san bu kura be si ga je na kan bo fan bo do ba wi akaba fata ba sa aja ni mo fan
ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك. اللهم تقبل منا انك انت السميع الدعاء. انت بهوائجنا عليم وعلى قضائها قدير. فضل علينا بقضائها ويسرتها يا ارحم الراحمين. قوموا الى صلاتكم يرحمني ويرحمكم الله.